Hello, friends. Hope you can hear me. If you can, let me know. Nope, you can't. Hey, there's my sound. You can hear me now. Welcome back. I just thought I'd hop on and hang out with you guys for a little talk about anything and everything. Well, not really. I can't answer every question, but I will do my ultimate best. So tell me where you're watching from. Say hi. What are you up to? What'd you eat for lunch? Are you fasting? Are you reading a good book? What are y'all doing? Hey, what are y'all doing? I am getting ready to be by myself during the holiday weekend. Well, not really. My kids will be home. But Dr. Barry is going out of town to film a documentary. And so I'll just be hanging out here. I might do another live. I don't know. We'll see. I have eaten today. I was like, what have I eaten? I ate steak and onions. Nothing special. It's my usual thing. Steak and onions is my go-to. And ground beef and onions is my other go-to. Well, taco meat, really, honestly. We got Florida in the house, Wichita, Kansas. What's up, guys? California, that's where Ken's going. Mobile, Alabama. That's in Granny's neck of the woods, Florence, Alabama. Yorkshire, England. Yorkshire, not Yorkshire. Oh, man. It is so hot here. Somebody said, let's talk autumn. Carissa. It's like 100 degrees and humid outside. And I have some pumpkin stuff out, but if you walk outside, it's very clearly nowhere near autumn vibes. Outside, it is awful. Not as bad as Texas. I have a lot of family in Texas, and it is super hot down there. I'm glad that I do not live in Texas. I couldn't take it. I can't take the snow, and I can't take the heat of Texas. I can't do it, especially if you're not near water. If I had a pool, I think it would be okay, but we have a kiddie pool in the front yard, but I don't know that counts because I have to clean it every single day, or we get frogs and other critters getting in there and having a fun time. Regina, where are you? 101 degrees? Woof. I'll take 80. I would take 80. Last week, it was low 80s and no humidity and a nice breeze, and it was so lovely. And then it went right back to being the devil's ball sack heat. It's awful. And I hate it. I hate it. Oh, goodness. I love the autumn videos too. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of fall decor, not in this room. If you guys haven't noticed, my house looks entirely different. So this was where the TV was, and then I moved it back in there and put my desk in the sunroom area and just like rearranged everything. Anyways, we got a whole new setup. Now I just bought a few new armchairs. I'm just trying to, we are nowhere near getting in the new house. You guys ask me that all the time. Updating the new house. I will update you when there is actually something to look at. Currently, it is still just looks like a house under construction. We have not hit the fun part yet. We are not, well, I am picking out paint colors and flooring and all that stuff, but nothing is in the house. It's just, we just got drywall put up this past week. So, yeah. Sandy says, how old was Beckett when he was potty trained, and how old was he when he started talking? Beckett started talking very early. Very, very early. I can't really remember, but it was around 1. Like before 1. I don't know. No, he was talking. He could say a few words before he was 1, and then he really took off. And then he was spelling when he was 2. I've got videos of him spelling things. He was an early achiever for sure when it came to verbal stuff. Bonnie was a little slower, but she has since caught up. She speaks in full sentences now, and she just turned 2. And he was potty trained before Bonnie came. And so that was around 2.5, almost 3 is when he was fully potty trained. He still has accidents at night, but I think that that's normal. Sorry, Beckett, to be talking about your potty habits. I probably should stop doing that. Carissa, do you plan on having dairy goats? I mean, in a perfect world where I didn't have to run everything that goes on in the background that you guys don't see and I had more time on my hands, sure. But no, not in the near future, probably not. And on it, to be very honest with you, I am a country girl. I was raised in the country. I was raised right here. Hunting, fishing, ducks, chickens, pigs, all the things. Grew up around them, but it's not my thing. It is not my thing. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I like my chickens because they're kind of low maintenance. They do their own thing. I give them some layer pellets and let them go about their merry way. I don't really have to do anything for them, but anything like Ken is the sheep whisperer. I don't really do anything with the animals. I like the city in my heart. I'm a city girl. Lori, your hair is so gorgeous. Thank you. What styling tool do you use? I use a Dyson Airwrap. They are pricey. Shark actually makes a version that I think, to me, seems to be exactly the same quality and does the exact same thing. It's a little less expensive, but it's still also not cheap. But it's the only hair tool that I use, and it blow dries and curls my hair all in one go, so I don't have to blow dry it and then go back in with a curling iron. So it saves me time, and it is supposed to supposedly use less heat, and so it's less damaging, but honestly, it's just very convenient, and I've had the same one since 2020, and it's still going strong. Did your children use a noise maker? I wonder if it's delaying speech in my grandchildren. Yes, they do use noisemakers. I don't know why that would delay speech at all. Noisemakers are just making noise. They're not doing anything out of the ordinary, unless you're one of those parents that tries to be quiet, which don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure. We've never been quiet. When Beckett was little, we just carried about our lives as usual. We weren't super, super quiet. He was a terrible sleeper no matter what, and he had a noise machine. Bonnie, she slept through the night within the first 6 weeks that she was outside of my body. She was a very good sleeper. Each child is different. There's really nothing that you can do. Just talking to them a lot, I think, is the main thing that helps them learn how to speak. And still, some kids are just going to take their time about it. But definitely a sound machine is not playing a part in delaying anything. Sandy says, when will memberships reopen to the PhD community? So we have a wellness community, and inside there you can get accountability and support and access to some of our PhD coaches and extra live streams that are like this one, but are on a schedule. Right now we're closed to new members, but we should be reopening sometime in September. There is a wait list. If you go to drberry.com/waitlist, then you will be able to be notified immediately when we reopen the membership platform. Eiffel Flower, have you ever considered growing pumpkins? This is such a funny question. So, yes, I wanted to have a pumpkin patch. And like I said, Ken does all the stuff. So I was like, I want to have a pumpkin patch. And he said that was going to be too much trouble because he'd have to till up the ground and he didn't want to do that. And I was like, okay, fine. And then last year, we got a ton of pumpkins from our local pumpkin patch when pumpkin season was technically over. And we gave them to the sheep. The sheep ate the pumpkins. They love pumpkins, in case you didn't know. And then they pooped out the seeds. And so now we have several naturally occurring pumpkin patches in the fields and in the front yard because we also fed them to the chickens. And I didn't have to do a thing. So we will actually have pumpkins if it will rain, because it hasn't rained here in Tennessee in like a month. And plants need water along with sunshine. So I'm hoping it rains in the next few days, keeps them alive. And we have one white one that's growing and a few just like jack-o'-lantern regular kind. Anyways, they just kind of popped up on their own, volunteered to come out, and that makes me super happy. Thank you, sheep and chickens. What's your favorite cut of steak? New York strip is my favorite, and then filet after that. I don't love ribeyes like everybody else seems to, but and honestly, I prefer ground beef. over any steak. I just am a ground beef girly. Alyssa, do you ever eat raw cheese or milk? I don't go out of my way to eat raw cheese or milk, but I have. I drank some raw milk while I was pregnant with Beckett just because I was actually in an area where I could get some and it was amazing and tasty. I think if you're going to drink milk, that's definitely the kind that you should be getting. And if you have access to that kind of stuff, absolutely enjoy as long as you're not, having any issues. Ooh, Fino Barbie doll. This is me. I'm country adjacent. I want to pet the animals and give them snacks, but I don't want to have to get up and feed them or clean up after them. Yeah, I'm good with dogs and cats. And like I said, my chickens are self sustaining essentially at this point. But anything more than that, I'm just not interested. Okay. Very quickly, shout out to Element for sponsoring this live stream. Yeah, I talk about them all the time. They are my favorite. I am drinking the raw unflavored. I just dripped water all over my keyboard. I drink about a pack of these a day, unless I'm outside sweating, then I might have two. And these I like because they don't have sweetener in them. I like the sweetened ones every now and then, but I prefer the unflavored ones. I don't know why. At first I didn't in the beginning when I first started using them years ago, like 4 years ago. Watermelon was the one that I drank all the time. And I started drinking them because I had been to some conference and they were giving out samples and I was eating them out of the packet. I'm pretty sure I was pregnant, like a pixie stick. And I'd been doing that with Redmond's or another electrolyte thing previously. I can't remember what brand it was. And they burned my tongue, and these didn't really burn my tongue that much. And so I started eating the Element, and then I started drinking them. And then, yeah, now years later, I don't really like the sweetened ones as much. I like the raw unflavored. But they have 1,000 milligrams of sodium. I love a lot of salt. 200 milligrams of potassium and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And if you go in the screen, if you're on your TV, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to the website where you get the free sample pack, or you can just go to drinkelementy.com/Nisha. I can put it on the screen. It's so dusty here, guys. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit nasally. There it is. That's the website that you can get the free sample pack. I have one. Ooh, this comes with 8 different flavors, plus the raw unflavored, plus the chocolate flavored, which a lot of people make hot chocolate with. And you can get that free with any purchase, including their sparkling canned drinks, which are really pretty yummy. But I personally prefer the packets when I'm at home. Now, if I'm on the go, I really like the cans to go. So thank you again to Element for sponsoring this live stream. You should thank them too, because otherwise I'll be reading my books right now. And I'm on here talking to you amazing people. I just don't know why. I can't get off my butt and do a live stream. Did you read the book of that movie, It Ends With Us? Yes, I read the book a few years ago. I think I was pregnant with Bonnie when I read it, so it was about 2 years ago. And I liked the book. It was my second, what's her name? Colleen Hoover. The first one was Verity. I went into that book totally blind and was like, wow, that was crazy. So I thought she wrote thriller mysteries, but she doesn't. She writes romances. And so when I read It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, I was like, oh, you're a romance person. And I don't really like that kind of book. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. I probably won't watch the movie, but the book was okay. Oh, Candy, what was your change that Ken referred to in the Monday Night Live introduction this week? Okay, so yeah. I, in the past few years, have tried really hard to be aware and considerate of my personal boundaries. And so Facebook, I've been considering my public profile page, deleting that for several years. And then this week I was just like, you know what? It's time. It's time. I don't like it. So I've got this process that I'm like, is this bringing me more anxiety than joy? And if it is, then I don't want it. And it was. And so it's gone. So now I am only on Instagram and YouTube as a creator. And I still have like a personal one just for my friends and family Facebook page, but my public one is gone and it will not be coming back. And I could not be happier about that, honestly. But yeah, I just, if something is stressing you out more than it's making you happy and you keep going back to it, that's toxic. I was like, I don't even want to be on here. Why am I on here? Okay. I just won't be. And so I'm not. Yes, Rebecca. That's what's in here is the unflavored element with a little bit of lime juice, not lemon juice, but sometimes I use lemon juice and sparkling water. I prefer using sparkling water. I'm just weird. I can't drink flat water anymore. I mean, if I needed to drink it, it was the only thing available, I would drink it. But if I have a choice, sparkling all the way. Have you ever read Under the Tuscan Sun? And if so, was the movie similar? I have seen the movie, but I don't think I actually ever went back and read that book. I have read many, many books that were made into movies, but I don't think I've read that one. The movie was really good, though. Yes, girl. All right. So, phenobarbital. I do this with my hot coffee, not my cold coffee, but it would probably it's good, I'm sure. She makes iced coffee with heavy whipping cream frothed and then sprinkles chocolate element salt. So the chocolate element and their other like weird kind of off the book. So they have like mango, habanero, and several other kind of like off the beaten path type of flavors that aren't your usual flavors you would put in water. I put those on food. There's a fly who is harassing me, so just so you know. The chocolate salt is something that I have used to make desserts. I put it in my brown butter bites. It's really good in brown butter bites. And then, like I said, you can make hot chocolate with it in the winter, and it's phenomenal. Fly, go away. I am not pregnant. And I won't be ever again. Hee hee. Oh, Gregory. Wish you would start singing more and put out some songs. You have a gift and should share it. I would love to do that. However, I have no place in this house that is quiet enough to spend more than the time that is needed to record a song and then like learn the I don't have time right now. But I do plan if this new house ever gets done to have an area that is like a recording studio, not only for singing but like podcasts and stuff like that. Sandy, have you ever tried salty from Keto Chow? Yes, I have. It's a little chalky for me, but other people love it. And I think that it's fine. If that's the one you want to go with, go for it. It's just I prefer the element ones, but everybody has different taste. How many element can you have in one day? I think that's probably just up to personal preference. Unless you're someone who has a severe kidney damage, then it's not something you have to really keep an eye on. I think Element says 1 to 2 packs a day is what their like recommended dose or whatever. But I think it's so interesting how people want to know how many elements you can have in a day, but how many of you drank Gatorade 4 or 5 times a day back in the day, right? Most of us. I mean, I used to drink Gatorade all day long and never thought a thing about it. I was never like, is this too many electrolytes? That never happened. But just, for perspective's sake. Yeah, so this code over here, I saw a few of you. I can see when you scan it. If you scan this, it will take you to the website where you can get the free sample pack with any purchase. So if you're like watching this on a TV, which is still weird to me, every now and then somebody takes a picture of them watching one of my videos on their TV and posts it on Instagram and tags me, and I'm like, that is just so strange. It's so strange. It's just like, how is my face on a TV? That's so crazy. But I watch YouTube on TV all the time. All the time. That's all I watch. I don't really watch a lot of real TV. Anybody have any shows that they can recommend that I haven't seen? I've probably seen them all. Well, I'm very picky about what I watch on TV. I just don't sit down and watch anything, honestly. It has to be very good, very entertaining, or based on a book that I've read. Otherwise, I'm like, this is stupid. Hey, golf addict. Tomorrow will be 60 days on carnivore, down 26 pounds, and my A1C went from 7.5 to 6.1, and it's heading in the right direction. Awesome. Love to hear that. Oh, thank you so much. Nisha, you had a great interview the other day. Made me wonder how you feel about mammograms versus ultrasounds. So if you haven't watched the interview I did with Michelle Hearn, a lot of you have because you've left comments, so I've seen that you have. But if you haven't, check it out. It's really good. I love it. She's a registered dietitian that is pro carnivore and pro keto, pro low carb, which is kind of hard to find. There are some out there. Believe me, there are if you look hard enough. But it was a really good interview. And then we talked about keto and carnivore and cancer over there too. So I'm not really the one to give you any advice on mammograms versus ultrasound. I have never had a mammogram. I've never had an ultrasound. I've never needed to. When that time comes, I'll start doing a little more research into it. But it's just something I was never around as an RN because I worked in labor and delivery, or I worked in long-term care. I worked in dermatology. I worked in rheumatology. I worked at a prison, in the maximum security prison in Nashville, Tennessee. I worked there too, but I was never really involved in that kind of stuff. So I don't know as much about it as I probably should. And I will, in the next few years, probably start educating myself more about that specific topic. I have seen Murders in the Building. Love that show. Love Steve Martin. I love everybody. The cast is amazing. Love it so much. Dark Matter. I did get started watching that too. The Chosen. Watched it. Emily in Paris. Emily in Paris is like so awful, but I watch it anyways. Even the outfits. Some of the outfits, it's like, what? What is happening? But I love it. Mostly for the scenery. I just want to pretend that I'm also in Paris. And I'm obviously not going to Paris anytime soon. Joy, my husband is having back surgery and the doctor wants him to carb load with Gatorade. I think this is ridiculous. Do you think Element would be a good substitute? He wants him to carb load with Gatorade? I mean, Gatorade has carbohydrates, but I don't... What? I would talk to your doctor and be like, hey, I have this alternative that I would like to use. I don't really eat a lot of sugar. It bothers me, makes me have headaches, whatever, fill in the blank. And be like, I would like to use this instead. And just know your patient rights is your right to refuse a certain kind of standard, you know, because you think it's not going to be good for you. But that is odd. House of the Dragon. Yep. Read the book, watched all the shows. I'm a bit annoyed about this last season. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, at the end of that last episode, I was like, what the fudge sickle? How are you gonna do me like that? That is so rude. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil anything if you haven't watched House of the Dragon. But I was really mad. And I'm still pretty mad about it too. The Serpent Queen. Okay. I haven't watched that one. What's the Serpent Queen? What's that streaming on? Monica, have to brag. Had my blood work done. HDL 103, triglyceride 62, LDL 175, and total 287. Glucose was 85. Told doctor what I was doing, and she was fine with it. All my blood work was fantastic. Thanks to your hubby. Amazing. Well done, you. Oh, yeah, it's almost pumpkin soup season. LJ says, we have had one chilly day and I made your sausage and pumpkin soup. And oh my gosh, amazeballs. Hubby said I can make that even on a hot day. It is amazing. It is so I'd almost forgot about that pumpkin soup until you brought it up. Now I kinda wanna make it, even though it's hot. Hot, it's so hot. Okay, so let's see here. Tulsa King, watched it. Yellowstone, watched it. 1923, watched it. 1883, watched it. So the book I just finished is Hold Please. I just finished 2 books actually. Go me. I'm back at it after I went down the rabbit hole that is Sarah J. Maas one more time. So I just finished Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. It was a thriller. That was a 4-star book. The Night She Disappeared, also by Lisa Jewell. I gave that 4.5 stars because I was like fully invested to that story and its characters. It's really good. And now I'm reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is a book that has been on my to be read list for like a year. And I'm just now getting to it. And I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of about video games so far, and I don't love video games, but maybe it gets into some other deep stuff here soon. I just started it. I think I'm like 3 chapters in. So like, I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Judy, how long have we been waiting on season 7 part 2? I swear it's been 4 years. What is happening? Where are these people? What is going on? I've read all the books, so like I know what's going on, but like what is their problem? Why is it taking so long? I don't understand. Oh, I have seen. Okay, so yeah, The Serpent Queen is about Catherine de Medici, and I haven't watched it, but I've seen it the previews, and I was like, I like things about the Medici era. I think I might like that. Oh gosh, who hasn't watched The Office, right? So good. I've never watched Everybody Loves Raymond myself, but my grandmother used to watch it, and she loved it. November, it's forever away. It feels like forever. If you haven't read the Outlander books, by the way, those are in my top books I would recommend to anybody. I don't even care who you are. You should like it. There's a little bit of everything. Oh, there's 2 seasons of The Serpent Queen? Nice. Handmaid's Tale. I read the book years before that show came out. So I did watch Handmaid's Tale, but I did not love the show after they started because the book is the first season, basically. So like after the first season, they start just making stuff up, and I was like, no. I think I watched the first 3 seasons, and then I was in nursing school at that time, I think, and I just stopped watching TV altogether and forgot about it. Leslie, on my last book of A Court of Thorns and Roses. That one's a spicy one. And also, when I first read the last book, which is A Court of Silver Flames, I gave it 3 stars. 3. I was like, I didn't like this. I don't like the girl. It is now a 5-star book for me. I know that's like a huge juxtaposition because I had such a strong opinion on why I hated it, and now it's a 5-star book. Don't know what happened there, but anyways, yes, I still have the Lost Bookshop on my Kindle, but I have not had any time to sit down and actually do this, right? So I've been listening on Audible, and that's how I've got to finish the books that I've got. I find June insufferable on The Handmaid's Tale. After a while, she is. I think that's probably why I stopped watching it. The Last Kingdom, yes, watch that. Love me some Uhtred, son of Uhtred. He's amazing. So hot. Oh, yes. I actually do have a recipe for carnivore ice cream. I think it is like from 2020, but it's essentially the one that you've seen a million times. It's like I put it out a long time ago. I think I was pregnant with Beckett, so maybe 2019. But it's just like heavy whipping cream, egg yolks, vanilla, and then sweetener if you want it. I think I used stevia at the time, but now I would use allulose. It's good. I'm not an ice cream person, so I don't really make it unless I'm making it for the kids. The kids love ice cream, but then they just want to like actually do the process of making it and don't eat a lot. Plus, Beckett is very lactose intolerant, so we have to use lactose-free milk, and it's a whole thing. Anyways. Gloria, yes. Any testimony on improving rheumatoid arthritis on carnivore? Yes, many, many, many people in our wellness community have healed their joint pain with carnivore, even low carb and keto. Um, it doesn't cure you of rheumatoid arthritis, but it does help with the pain symptoms, especially when you start cutting out dairy and oxalates and things like that. But kind of want to go slow because I don't know a lot about oxalates, you can look that up, but some people, if they cut out stuff too much, then they actually have a flare up. It's usually temporary and still goes away and improves the rheumatoid arthritis pain. But just like be aware, some people, if they cut out everything all at once, they have a big flare up and then it resolves. Some people say that that is from oxalate dumping. I don't know that that's true or not, but just so you know. Yes, I did see the Lost Kingdom movie. It was amazing too. Wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but I mean, it was good. Yes, if you have not watched okay, if you don't want to read books, I get it. Like some people are just like not book people, but you can listen to it on Audible or you can watch the show. And there are very attractive characters on Outlander. So you get some eye candy along with a wonderful historical fiction / sci-fi because there is time travel involved, which is kind of weird. Yeah, Adam says, do you ever allow artificial sweeteners? Yeah, I just don't use them a lot. So I put stevia drops in my coffee, like 3 drops. I don't use a lot. And that's pretty much it. Because I don't like sweet stuff, but see, some people do. Some people love sweet stuff. I've just never been a sweets person. Oh, sure. So, Sino says, "Can you please give the quick recipe of the element Nisha Bucha?" So, what they're talking about is I make kombucha from Element, so I use the hold please. What did I do with the packet? Oh my gosh, there it is. I've just been sitting here, it couldn't have gone far. I use the raw unflavored Element, which comes in the free sample pack if you scan the code or go to the link on the screen with any purchase. Shout out to Element. They're the sponsor of today's live stream. 1 packet of this. You can use less if you don't like it super salty. I do. A whole pack in a glass of water, sparkling water. Has to be sparkling water. Be careful because when you add electrolytes and sparkling water, it can go okay. And then I put a splash of apple cider vinegar and then 2 to 3 drops of the stevia drops. You could just put a little stevia in there. You could use any sweetener that you like, but just a little. And that is Nicha Bucha. And I also put like a slice of lemon in it sometimes too. And it's delicious. I don't even know how I came up with that. I just did it one day and I was like, this tastes exactly like kombucha to me. Maybe it doesn't to you, but it definitely does to you. To me. Oh my God. I'm already stressed out because I'm going to be with these kids all by myself all weekend. Alyssa, is it possible to have given myself a thyroid problem by taking too many minerals every day? I mean, probably not. That's probably not what did it. It's probably something else, but that's just my generalized online person opinion. Yes, we are still homeschooling the kids. Bonnie is preschool, and Beckett is in 2nd grade. He is 4. And he is taking all his normal things like literature, science, and the other things that they have to take. My mom is doing the homeschooling, not me. No, thank you. I would just send him to public school if it was up to me, but she is doing it. So we hired her to be his teacher. And then he's also taking an engineering class that's an elective that we signed him up for, and he absolutely loves it. And he's making hundreds in that class. He makes hundreds and everything, but yeah. It's only 2 kids. Girl, you come keep my feral children. Come keep them. It's
only 2 kids and 2 dogs and 2 cats and sheep and a dog outside and chickens and a partridge and a pear tree. But yeah, it's fine. I finally finished Court of Thorns and Roses. Wow, just wow. I know, right? If you were on the first book, get ready, saddle up. But if you just finished the last book, congratulations. Yes, I do have a wonderful mother. She is a retired teacher, by the way. It's not like she just is winging it. Like she knows what she's doing. How come my backdrop looks cozier than Dr. Barry's? Because he's a hot mess express and I am a control freak. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. When compared to Rebecca being a preschool teacher, sure, it is only 2 kids. You're correct. I take it back. You're right. Take it back. Oh, goodness. I could never. And Ken. Now, Ken won't be here. Ken won't be here. He's going to be gone to film some documentary. I'm just kidding. I'm being facetious. Did I use that word appropriately? I don't know. That's the second person. Bonnie, you're the second person to ask me about the book It Ends With Us. Yes, I have read the book. I liked it just fine. It was not a, like, it didn't change my life. It's no Covenant of Water, okay? But I like my book taste versus the women who love Colleen Hoover books. Like, we're 2 different types of people. Not one of us is better than the other. It's just like, what breaks my heart is the things that happen in the Covenant of Water, the women, the 4 winds. Like, that's groundbreaking, earth-shattering books. It Ends With Us. I was like, I don't know. It just wasn't it for me. Like, I think I gave it 3.5 stars probably because it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was a bad book. I was just like, I've read this story before, you know? Where the Covenant of Water and the 4 winds and the women, I have to go months between reading historical fiction because it is so heartbreaking and intense. And I mean, I'm not going to get into the domestic violence thing, but let's just say, like, I have an opinion on that topic, and it still wasn't like a groundbreaking book to me. But it was fine, and I think the movie is probably going to be wonderful. But I probably won't watch it because I don't like that type of movie either. Don't like it. And also, I've seen some clips of like the clothes, and what the heck? What is she wearing? I know, Covenant of Water. If you haven't read that, my gosh. How many pages is that? I think it's like 800 and something pages. Like, it's massive. It's a tome, okay? And you can listen to it on Audible. It's on Audible. I mean, every part of that book. I don't know even how many times I cried during that book, but it was many. It was heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, but like written in the most beautiful way. I was happy to be tormented. I was like, torment me more. Yeah, it's really good. Yes, so The Midnight Feast is on my list, Melissa. I don't know how far down on my list it is, but it is like in the next few months. I'll probably be reading that. Maybe during when it gets nice and fall-y, like October, because I feel like that's a fall vibes book if I'm remembering correctly. I could be totally wrong because I've read a lot of synopsises in the past few days, putting my fall TBR, to be read list together, and I could be totally wrong. One Dark Window is a fantasy. Okay, cool. Love that. Have you decorated for fall yet? Kind of, but not everything is out, and it still looks like summer in my... I think I'll still keep it like this. Maybe just throw some, like, eclectic stuff. So I just ordered some decorations that I'll show on my next YouTube video. So I've ordered some new chairs because our recliner was destroyed. It was the one that I had for when I had Bonnie for like my nursing chair, and it was cloth, which is never gonna hold up good, but it was like a white. Well, it wasn't white, but it was beige. Anyways, it was not beige anymore. It was gross. So we had to throw that away. Yeah. Oh my god, it's Dr. Barry. He subscribed to my channel. Ah. Hi, honey. He's literally right, like in his office. He's right there. Nourishment Redacted. Oh, cool name. Love that. How to get back into books when toddlers are always jumping on you. LOL. Then at night, I'm just ready to fall asleep. I feel like I use social media way too much and need to detox. Audible subscription. And shout out to whoever told me about the highest level of Audible. So if you pay, I can't remember what it is. I think it's called Platinum. It's a 1 year fee and you get 24 credits up front, which honestly, for most people, unless you're like obsessively reading like I do, 24 credits is going to put you at least at a year's worth of books. If you're buying really good books that are, over 6 hours long, not that it can't be a good book if it's, you know what I mean? Like I like to bang for my credit. If it's not over honestly, at this point, if it's not over 8 hours, I don't waste a credit on it. And I see if it's on Kindle Unlimited, but that is the best way to get back into it because you can have what I do is I put one AirPod in, and while I'm like cleaning and doing things, I'm listening to my book, so that I can multitask, right? And then I leave the other one out, so if somebody has a mental breakdown, I can hear them. And then at night, I set the sleep timer to 30 minutes because that's about how long it takes for me to be like out. And yeah, so I get through books pretty quickly. If you're commuting back and forth to work, you can listen to your book in the car instead of listening to music. That's what I do. While you're doing mundane tasks, while you're doing the laundry, while you are putting the dishwasher, while you're putting the dishes in the dishwasher, that's when I like to listen to my Audible so that I can feel like I'm still having me time while doing things that I actually hate, like doing the dishes and picking up toys and, driving to the grocery store. Oh, what? Sorry, I thought that said something really weird. I read it wrong. Have you ever written anything like a fantasy, or do you mean would you ever write anything like a fantasy? If I wrote a nonfiction book, it would definitely be a thriller, mystery, true crime. Well, not true crime, but like, similar to true crime type of book. Because I think that would be really fun to write. And if you have been around for the past 4 years, I kind of have some experience with that. So, like, maybe, I don't know, under a pseudonym, you'd never know it was me. Never know. Oh, thanks, Craig. I know. So, this is my new office. So, all of my background for my live streams, this is going to be it. Probably for my sit down videos, too. Thank you. It hasn't rained in over a month and it's just pure dust outside, and my nose is like, no, we don't like it. You're very welcome, Nourishment Redacted. I love your name. That's so cool. Let me know what you listen to if you start reading or listening, which is still reading, okay? Just to be clear, I don't think one is better than the other. How can you consume a book and keep your sanity, Claire, I've been suffering with endometriosis for years. Can you give me any advice, please? So we have several people in our wellness community who have suffered with endometriosis and have found that when they start cutting out highly inflammatory foods like dairy and grains and processed sugar and seed oils and stuff like that, they see improvement in their symptoms. Dr. Jamie Seaman is an OBGYN. She has spoke about this on several podcasts. Dr. Kiltz, I think, has spoke about this, who is a fertility specialist. Yeah, hope that helps. Aunt D, can't wait to see your new house and where you will post from. So I will have my own office that's not a community room. Like my office now is not truly my office because there's toys and we have arts and crafts supplies over here. Like it's just my corner that is mine. But in the new house, I will actually have a room with a door, and that will be lovely. I'm very excited. Hi, Lisa. I know YouTube is so annoying. So if you haven't already like subscribed, come on, hit that subscribe button. But also, if you are subscribed, if you click on the subscribe button, it'll be like personalizations, and if you click all, I think then it will actually notify you for all the things that I do. But still, they're kind of finicky. It's really weird. Crystal, yes, I have some fall decor out. Yes. You can't see it. It's not in here. Yeah, so it will technically be a studio office. So it will be like set up for filming all the time. Instead of like, I take my stuff down and then I put it up, and then I take it down and then I put it up, and then I take it down and then I put it up, and da 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 da. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? I'm not moving anytime soon. Nourishment redacted. We have been in the process of building this house for what seems like eternity. So, but I will, y'all, I will let you know. I promise. I'm not just gatekeeping. I mean, maybe a little, but not really. I mean, there's nothing to tell, but I'm also like, I could show you, but I'm like, that's dumb. There's nothing to see. Alyssa, do you make any special pumpkin spice drinks that are carnivore? I don't know if you could consider it carnivore, but the sweet leaf drops that I use, they make a pumpkin spice flavored one, and I order that. And so I add that to my iced coffee and my hot coffee, and it's amazing, and it doesn't cause me any issues. But other than that, I don't really know. I think a lot of people have recipes out there, but that's the simplest. Like, get some flavor and put it in your coffee, and that's like boom, there you go. And that's the best brand that I've found that has a really good true pumpkin spice flavor. And you can, make it more sweet if you like it a lot. Like, you put 10 drops if you love that sweet taste, and just a few drops if you just want a little hint of pumpkin spice. Oh, I'm sorry for you guys who don't get fall. Life without fall, I just couldn't do it. It's my favorite. Also, like I said, I know I've said this 20 times, I'm gonna say it again. It hasn't rained here in over a month, and that always makes our falls not pretty. Because the trees just go, okay, and like all the leaves just fall off without changing color. And I feel like that's gonna be how it goes this year, which is very sad. Lisa, if I win the Mega Millions, I'll pay for the house because it's been too long. I slowly bid your videos. Oh, thank you. That was very sweet. It's not, guys, I promise it's not like a super mansion. It's not taking forever because I'm gonna have a, massive, massive house. Oh, it's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't even care. Whatever. Freaking fly. It is so done when it's done. Whatever. Just let me know when it's done. I'm not even excited anymore. I think I'll get excited when they're like, you can paint. Ooh, so Marnie Mac says if you mix chocolate element, the electrolyte mix, with coffee, heavy whipping cream, and pumpkin pie spice, then it makes an excellent PSL. So if you try that, let me know. D Moran, I don't know. What's your question? And also, we don't have a $5 a month community level anymore. That's retired because we had too many people. We can't let any more people in there. It's gone. The people that are in there are still in there, but like no new people. How many square feet is it? I really don't know. That's a Kinberry question. I don't know. But it ain't over, might be 2,200 with the base, with the garage. Because we have a garage, which is like going to be Ken's office area. I really don't know. I don't know. It's not as big as our Nashville house, I don't think. Maybe. No, it's definitely not. It's got an open floor plan too, so, like, the kitchen and the living room and the dining room are all the same, but I'm gonna build a wall because I hate open floor plans. I hate them. So I'm gonna have a wall divider between the living room and the dining room that is a bookshelf, like, just an open bookshelf. So many bookshelves in this house, like, the whole house is just a bookshelf, essentially. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I am happy to be here with you guys today, and I will see you in my next video. If you ever have any comments on like videos that you want me to make that aren't crazy off the wall, only you would want that type of videos, then feel free to drop them in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna go clean up and pack Dr. Bree's suitcase and see him off to Los Angeles. And then I'm probably going to take a nap. No, I'm not. The kids will be home by then. Okay. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and weekend. Enjoy your holiday weekend. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to check out the link in the description if you want a free sample pack of Element. And thanks again to them for sponsoring. I love you guys and I mean it. See you next time.